What's up, Hoops fans? Welcome back to Latest Hoops. We knew you'd be back for your regular fix of must-see NBA content, and today we're going to be taking a look at the greatest of all time, Michael Jordan. More specifically, we're going to be looking at the times when opposition players feared matching up with MJ, regretted trash-talking him, or were simply in awe of what he did to them or their teams. Michael Jordan did some pretty incredible things to some pretty good teams and players throughout his career, so there's no shortage of NBA legends recounting their tales of times they came up against his airness, and were humbled by his ability on the basketball court. Today we've put together a compilation of some of the best of those stories just for you. Before we get into that though, we need to remind you that one of you could walk away with a free, brand new PS5 with NBA 2K21 and Madden NFL 21 included. All you need to do to enter the giveaway is like this video, leave a comment letting us know which MJ story was your favorite, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notifications bell. Once that's done, you're in, so keep an eye out for our upcoming videos, one of which will contain the winner's announcement. We think that sounds pretty good. Now, let's talk Jordan and his ability to leave even the best of the best feeling like school kids playing ball in the park for the first time against the neighborhood MVP. To start us off, we'll turn to Reggie Miller. Miller was a 5-time NBA All-Star, is a member of the 50-40-90 club, and was one of the best players in the league throughout the 1990s. He's also the younger brother of Cheryl Miller, the woman widely considered to be the best female basketball player of all time. It's fair to say then that Reggie Miller was no slouch when it came to basketball. However, the UCLA shooting guard got a bit carried away with himself in a preseason match against the Chicago Bulls in his rookie season with the Indiana Pacers. Reggie Miller recounted that preseason game when he appeared as a guest on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Miller said, "My rookie year we were playing the Chicago Bulls. Most veterans don't like to play in exhibition games. They want to get to the real thing. I'm a wide-eyed, energetic rookie and Michael's going through the motions. Chuck Person, who's on my team, who's a trash talker, is like, 'Can you believe Michael Jordan? The guy everyone's talking about, who's supposed to be able to walk on water? You're out here killing him, Reg. You should be talking to him.' And I was like, you know what? You're right." At this point, we should point out that anyone who thinks it's a good idea to trash talk Michael Jordan is never right. Ever. Anyway, Miller goes on to say, "Michael, who do you think you are? The great Michael Jordan. That's right, there's a new kid in town." He kind of looks at me and starts shaking his head. So at the half, I have 10 and he has 4 points. At the end of the game, the second half, he ended up with 44 and I ended up with 12. So he outscored me 40-2. And as he's walking off, he's like, "Be sure and be careful, you never talk to Black Jesus like that." To be fair to Miller, his Indiana Pacers were one of the few teams to give Jordan's Bulls real trouble in their attempt to three-peat, taking them the distance in the 1998 playoffs. Nonetheless, Miller learned the hard way that day that Michael Jordan isn't the guy you want to be riling up. Miller isn't the only shooting guard with a hilarious Jordan trash-talking story either. Byron Scott, a 3-time champion with the Los Angeles Lakers, had a similarly entertaining story involving MJ. Scott appeared on an episode of The Dan Patrick Show and told a story in which Jordan's Bulls visited the Staples Center to play against Scott's Lakers. Byron Scott was injured for the game in question, and so he wouldn't be guarding Jordan. This is what unfolded when Jordan found out. So we're getting off the bus, we're done with shoot-around, and we're walking out, and MJ says, "B. Scott, what's going on?" I said, "What's up, MJ?" He said, "Man, I hear you're not playing tonight." I said, "No, I sprained my ankle." He said, "Who's guarding me?" I said, "Anthony Peeler." He's like, "Oh, 50, and then laughs. So I told Peeler, "Listen, MJ is probably going to go for about 50 tonight on you. So you just don't piss him off, just be cool." He ended up with 54. Now we don't know about all of you, but we kind of wish Anthony Peeler had decided to piss MJ off. If he went for 50 without even getting fired up, he probably would have had one of the best games of all time if someone had decided to trash talk him a little. Still, it's pretty incredible that Michael Jordan was that good on a court and confident in his abilities that he could just decide how much he was going to score on any given night. It's a little surprise, given Jordan's abilities, that he often struck fear into his opponents. One NBA legend happy to recount how scared he was of Michael Jordan out on the basketball court is Los Angeles Lakers legend Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq admitted to being terrified of Michael Jordan on an episode of Inside the NBA, a show he hosts alongside Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, and Ernie Johnson. Speaking on the issue, Shaq said, "Let me tell you something, I was terrified out there." Co-host Charles Barkley then asked, "You were scared of MJ?" To which Shaq responded, "Yeah," after which he was asked by Ernie Johnson, "For how long?" To which Shaq responded, "Oh, the whole game, because 1, he was the greatest player, 2, I was worried about him dunking on me and I would have to go back and, face the fellas. I was like, man, this dude, like the stuff that I saw when I was in college on TV was like really real." Shaquille O'Neal is one of the most feared and physically dominant players in the history of the league. So for him to admit he feared MJ as much as he did gives you an idea of just how insanely good Michael Jordan was out there on the court. Shaq was right to fear his airness. In fact, some other legendary NBA players would have done well to learn from his approach. One such player was defensive legend Dikembe Mutombo, the man famous for wagging his finger after blocking balls 15 rows back into the crowd. Mutombo played against Jordan several times as a member of the Denver Nuggets in the early 90s. And it was in one of those games that Mutombo decided to give Michael Jordan a bit of trash talking when the GOAT was at the free throw line. Jordan made the first of his free throws and was then met with some verbal jousting by Mutombo. Michael Jordan let the then Nuggets player have his say for a couple of seconds, looked at him, laughed, and then said, "This one is for you, baby." What happened next is one of the several iconic moments from Jordan's incredible career. The six-time champion proceeded to set up for his second shot at the foul line. He then closed his eyes and made the shot. There is perhaps no better way of demonstrating that your opponent is wasting his time trying to trash talk than by literally showing them you can beat them with your eyes closed. Safe to say Mutombo gave up on trying to get in the head of the NBA great pretty quickly after that. In Mutombo's defense, he was a rookie at the time, and it's likely no one on his team had told him that you should never talk trash to Michael Jordan. Still, we're glad he did because it gave us one of the best stories of next-level confidence, cockiness, and arrogance. By now, you probably understand that trash-talking Michael Jordan on a basketball court only ever ends badly. Most of these incidents were short conversations with huge consequences for the players involved. However, they happened on the court more often than not, so Michael Jordan responded instantly. Now imagine what would happen if someone made a comment off the court, say something like, "I beat Michael Jordan twice in one day," or something along those lines, and then Jordan was left to sit and stew on those comments for months before given a chance to set the record straight. Well, that's exactly what happened to Jerry Stackhouse. Stackhouse attended the same college as Michael Jordan did, North Carolina, and was keen to prove to anyone who would pay attention that he was the best shooting guard to come out of North Carolina ahead of his debut in the NBA. Both Stackhouse and Jordan were present at an open camp for UNC alumni held by North Carolina in 1995. After that camp, Stackhouse told the media that he'd beaten Jordan's team so badly in a scrimmage that Jordan demanded to play him one-on-one, and then Stackhouse beat him again. Stackhouse was due to enter the NBA later that year, and Jordan was gearing up for his first full season after coming out of retirement, hence the reason for his presence at the camp. At the time, Jordan chose not to address the comments made by Stackhouse. However, Jordan was never one to let anyone talk trash about him and get away with it, so it comes as little surprise that when the two finally met on an NBA court, Jordan quickly set the record straight by absolutely dominating Jerry Stackhouse. In their first meeting of the season, Jordan put up 48 points and 10 rebounds in 3 quarters, while Stackhouse was limited to single-digit scoring in a 27-point loss at the hands of Jordan's Bulls. 3 days later, Stackhouse went some way to redeeming himself, scoring 24 points on 50% shooting, but his Philadelphia 76ers were still blown out by the Chicago Bulls, and Jordan outscored him, putting up 32 points in just 3 quarters of action. In their final meeting of the season, with Stackhouse now more used to the rigors of the NBA, the North Carolina guard put up 31 points as his 76ers pushed Jordan Bulls for the whole game. However, Stackhouse only shot 8 of 21. Jordan put up 38 points and 11 rebounds, and the Bulls still emerged victorious. In summary, Stackhouse was inefficient and outscored by MJ in each of their 3 contests following Stackhouse's comments. He also lost all 3 games to Jordan, 2 of which were blowouts. That's quite the statement by MJ as far as setting the record straight goes. After 6 months of letting the world ponder whether Stackhouse really could be as good as him, MJ came out and reminded the world that there will never be anyone as good as him. A lesson he taught us all at the expense of a rookie dumb enough to mouth off about how he was better than the GOAT. And since then, the record has been set straight by a former UNC member who was at the scrimmage and said he didn't think Stackhouse scored another bucket once Jordan entered the game. So there you have it. Stackhouse is a liar and got embarrassed for nothing, like so many other NBA greats who decided it was a good idea to open their mouths in front of MJ. Thanks for watching another exclusive Latest Hoops NBA video. Don't forget to like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe to our channel for your chance to win that awesome PlayStation 5. We'll be back with more basketball content for you soon. Until then, keep shooting your shot.